The Profit Diversion Compliance Facility is another opportunity whereby HMRC are encouraging businesses to make voluntary disclosures. Alongside the guidance, there is going to be an online facility to do that process. This is focused on companies which may have made mistakes or failed to notify their charge to diverted profit tax. Now, what we are expecting is that many businesses will actually want to review their transfer pricing policies, and as a result of that, they will owe additional corporation tax. This is largely focused, therefore, on international businesses, companies that have bases in countries around the world, including the UK. And HMRC are clearly here trying to charge additional UK taxes on those companies with international operations. In terms of why HMRC are focusing on this area, I think for those who follow the media, it's clear to see that companies operating in low tax jurisdictions or no tax jurisdictions has been a hot topic for the Treasury, the government and HMRC for many years. So this is part of an ongoing agenda to look at those companies and focus on compliance and whether or not they are paying sufficient tax in the UK. It's another nudge, as HMRC would call it, but for those who don't come forward and use the facility, of course there may be more serious implications in terms of a future investigation. As we've seen with other disclosure facilities, there are some key considerations that any business should look at very carefully before going ahead with a voluntary disclosure or use of such a process. Firstly, this is not the only way to make a voluntary disclosure to HMRC, and we would strongly encourage any business to get expert advice on their own circumstances and consider all the available options. The other areas are going to be things like how many years HMRC can look at, whether or not they will want to charge financial penalties, whether there's any risk of the company being accused of any wrongdoing, and if so, whether that could have more serious implications. Then there will also be considerations around the amount of work that HMRC wants undertaken, the evidence required, the methodology to be used, and also what level of reassurances the business are going to get if they go through with this process. And again, we would encourage any business to get expert advice before either responding to a letter from HMRC or registering to use this new facility.